It's Tyler
and Shavante,
and we are Unfckwitable Podcast. So today we're just gonna have a nice girl chat. It's Sunday and we're just feeling the vibes. And we were having a really great conversation, Shavante and I, with two of our friends, Jasmine and Jessica Harris. They're the twins, the Devilman twins. Hey! They remind me of like Babs. Hey!
We have to say everything.
So we were having a great conversation about a variety of things, and we felt like why not just record and have a good like girl talk fireside chat. All right, so what were we last talking about, ladies?
We were talking about relationships,
Yeah.
and even the course of marriage and divorce and everything in between that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we still want to talk about that. Or y'all want to catch a vibe on something else?
I guess like my question to y'all would be like, how do you know when you found the right person?
Okay.
Like what qualities? What do you know? Like this is the one.
Whoo!
I think that's hard because I feel like certain answers can make you seem crazy.
Right.
Because I don't know if other people will experience that as well too. But
say it, because the thing is sometimes we have a lot of commonalities, but like I don't know, there's like shame and thing. That's what right when I speak about shame, here goes Jessica with the polygamy comments. She's like, can I have multiple booze? Can I have brother husbands? Okay, so somebody go like, okay, so somebody go ahead and say what one of the one things may be.
I think it's like really looking forward to seeing that person. I think that's one thing that I don't know. It's just I need, because I love myself. I love being alone. I love my kids. So actually sharing my space with someone else, that takes a lot. And for it to just be natural, like, hey, I actually like you. Like you know, like I want to see you. Like the thing, and it's not even just like physically seeing you. It's just like having a conversation with you in person, not even so much on the phone.
Bruh.
Physically having you there, like just your presence overall. Like I literally can just be studying, and you can just be like, you know, doing
just chilling, but we're just in each other's company.
Presence. Yeah, like I feel like that type of connection is when I feel like I have the one.
I completely agree with that because I'm the exact same way in terms of like one of my alone time. I love being by myself. So if I like even y'all and stuff, when I have people in my space, it's because like I value those people in my space. You know what I mean? Like I'm good with these people in my space. I have to like you. You know what I mean? Just because I'm a nice person don't mean I like being around everybody, because I don't. Y'all know that. I don't just have everybody in my space. So when I do, and I think that's like key, and I think that's important for people in general. Like I want to see you. Like I still want to have like butterflies. But I'm a one. Like I need to see you in person, because otherwise it's not the same for me. Like it's not. I can't. And also I guess. Say it's not fickle, but it's like what I mean is like, oh, right now, like, oh, I could be real into you, and the next minute I could just be like, I don't fuck with you like that. That is
need
me.
Someone that constantly
had my attention, and I don't know if that's Gemini or whatever.
Sounds Gemini.
So do you think you need to have somebody who's going to be switching it up for you all the time?
No, not switching it up, but like being consistent too.
Okay, all right.
I think some niggas just aren't consistent either, and it's just like you want me to like consistently, like whenever you decide to like say something or be like in my presence, that I'm supposed to still feel that way about you. No, because also I feel like consistency and like excitement also needs to be there, you know what I mean? Like real excitement, like not just like no, ooh, blah, blah, blah. No, I mean like I want to do fun, adventurous shit. I'm kind of like one of those like, let's go do this, dude. Like that's what I'm. So I guess that's more of a personality thing, though, isn't it? What do y'all think?
Yeah, you don't want nobody with a bland personality or someone who just like we talked about earlier, just being like about everything. Like I'm good. You want somebody you're like, you know, I feel like today I want to go drink some drinks, and then bungee jump. And then he's not like, oh, no, that's how stupid. He's like, oh, well, I'm with you. Like, oh, we gonna shot.
Or we can just joke about that shit, because this nigga not bungee jumping. I'm gonna charge.
I mean, like that. Like,
yeah. But is that like lifestyle thing? You want somebody on the same lifestyle as you, or is that considered personality?
That's why I'm having a hard time with it, because I feel like, is that what I feel like I attribute that with me, like the one thing. You know what I mean? Where, like, that's the type of quality, I guess, that I'm looking for in the type of love. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's somebody's personality, if that's, like, I don't know what that is until I see it, I guess.
Or is it more of it just, like, it's not that person's personality, but there's so much into you that even things that they wouldn't do on the normal, they would do it because it's something you're interested in a sense. It brings them closer to you. It's how you build memories. Like,
I think that's a component of it.
It's like, they might not be like an extrovert. They might be an introvert.
But willing to try.
Yeah, but willing to try. And it's because, like, they get to spend that time with you.
Yeah, because I did the little, have y'all done the 5 love languages? We're going to do that. Or we should, and if y'all haven't, we should just do them. Okay, we can do the little quiz with you with it. Mm-hmm. But the 5 love languages, which we should now get that sponsored or like some kind of ad space. Now, the 5 love languages quiz, take it on the website. But the 5 love languages, my main one is quality time. So, like, you know, just being able to, like, be in people's, like, space. Because I'm trying to make an effort. I think the most effort is people in this room. Plus, like, my mom maybe, and then sometimes my dad, and some of my cousins and stuff. I'm trying to expand it now more. Mm-hmm. But me keeping in touch with people has always been a hard thing to do. Yeah. And that's a thing, because I think that's generational. Like, my mom passed that down to, because she just didn't do that either. Like, she don't have that many, like, people that she constantly keeps in touch with. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the same with, like, your mom too. Yeah. And your mom too.
My mom has, like, what's crazy, like, the older she gets, I feel like she still has, like, her friends from, like, work and, like, growing up. So, like, they still kind of.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But it's like they'll call, like, they'll talk on the phone. Like, my mom still has, like, relationships where she talks on the phone.
Oh, that's good. Like, that's what I'm trying to get my mom to do now.
Yeah.
And she's doing it now, and she's liking it.
But that, I don't know, it skipped me. Because my sister's like that too.
Yeah.
Even my sister will call me, and I'm like, girl, why are you calling me? Like,
I see you all the damn time.
But it's just like it's just knowing that she has a sister I'm near. Like, she'll tell me, like, the smallest thing ever over the phone. It's like, you can't wait till you come home in 20 minutes to tell me this. But
I
it's
know,
just, like,
my dad is like that.
She's always on the phone, like, from, like, her friends from work, from, like, school, like, childhood friends. She's always on the phone, always having a conversation.
I love that, though.
That skipped me.
But see, I like that, though.
Are you not like that at all?
Like, would you want to be, though?
Yeah.
That's something we aspire.
The older I get, yes. Like, I'm just like, damn, like, why can't I hold a phone conversation?
I know, me either. Okay, bitch, so this is what's going to happen. Because I can't either. So, I mean, I do, but most of the time when I have those conversations, if somebody complaining to me and I'm counseling them and giving them advice, it's not just a fun-ass conversation. That's what, I guess that's one of the reasons why, too. It's just because, like, those type of long-ass conversations have never been, like, oh, we having a good-ass... I mean, sometimes with my dad, we'll have some funny-ass conversations. Like, me and my dad, we be crying, laughing sometimes. But half the damn time... it's not that. Yes, like, and I'm like Iago and Jafar. I feel like I be Iago. I be Iago, and my daddy be like, "Oh, Iago, what should I do, Iago?" The Sultan is.
I love it.
Like, for real though. Like,
I'm glad we talk about this, because I feel like sometimes I'm alone with that, because I feel bad. Like, I got friends that like talking all the time, and I'm like, okay, then I'm still here. It's like a text.
I love you, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, you can shoot me a text, and it's just like
she'll respond 4 days later.
Yeah.
But see, I'm like that sometimes.
I'm not I would see your message.
I gotta respond
to it. Like, don't even push send.
For real.
I respond in my head.
For real.
I'll think about it throughout the day. Like, dang, this person hasn't texted me back.
I know. Why did I talk to them? Like, didn't I say something? I asked them to say nothing. And I go back and I was like, oh, I'm the one. Oopsies. I said it. But I always circle back.
Yeah, I used to love texting though, but now I can't even text that much.
It takes too much of my time.
Yeah, that's what emojis are for.
I know, but that's why I kind of like it though too, because you can pick it up my goal is just to not let it go too long and always come back to it. Like, because I hate the idea of ghosting with my friends. I'm trying not to ever make them feel like I've ghosted them. Yeah. So I try to like always circle back, or if I take too long, or like a conversation we haven't conversed in a while, I might like send something to you or whatever.
But I'm not scared to double text when it comes to my friends or even like somebody I'm dating. If you haven't responded and it's just like it needed a response, like I'm going to double text because it's just like, why didn't you respond yet?
See,
like,
I'm too nervous. I'm like
I know you're on your phone all the time. Or you
you're better than me.
You gotta double check.
Yeah,
I know you've seen this message.
See, I'm a pussy ass bitch because I don't at all. Like I have like it's a pride. It's a pride thing. I'm like, oh, well, you gonna forget? Fuck you, there, bitch. Like that's how I am. That's how I am. It's a pride thing. It's a pride thing in me. Like I'm not double texting. If you pretend, I'm a motherfucking pretend too, bitch. That's. We might have to get some.
But I feel like if we at that point though where we have that relationship, like if I text you,
no, as a friend, I can do that maybe.
Oh yeah, but still like.
But my friends ain't disrespectful, so I always know that y'all gonna come back, even if it's a day or 3 days. I'm not giving a fuck because
dating is different.
Dating is different. That's why I say I don't double text because especially when you're just starting to date that person.
Yeah, you don't want to seem like clingy.
Not even the clingy thing, but bitch, you know how many people are on my line. I don't really give I do care. No, let me I'm not. I do care, but it's the fear of the rejection and abandonment where I feel that like I'm just not gonna do it because like, oh, you not saying nothing cool. I'm not putting on my eggs. Yeah. I was gonna put all the eggs though. I was like cool with it if you were cool with it, but I'm trying to match energy. Even though now I shouldn't be like that. Yeah. I should be what? High vibrational. You know? I'm trying.
But I feel like also too with the whole double texting, like if you actually have some type of concern for somebody where it's like it doesn't feel like they were ghosting you. Like sometimes maybe it's just like a way to kind of save yourself too. It's just like, hey, are you okay? Like that you can double text.
No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck.
Damn, yeah.
No, I do, but it's I'm in my feelings.
Went out or something. Like
and I'm a gangster.
Or something
She'll get mad at me because I'm like, okay, if we were talking, I get it. It's her job sometimes, but I'm like, hello, you gonna respond? All this stuff. I'm like,
I think that's good though. That's healthy. I'm just an unhealthy ass bitch.
Yeah, we were just talking.
In moderation, though. If you're doing it all the time, it's not healthy. Because that's something I think I'm struggling with. Like, it's just like when you know people go out to, or you know, like they're busy, but it's just like they haven't responded yet. And it's just like, damn, like I think something happened. Like, hey, like what's going on?
You got the emotional, like outwardly expressed emotional, and I'm inwardly where I'm like, shit, ain't nothing but a gangster party.
We have to rub off on each other. I
need some of yours, and I'll give you some of my pit game. Headstrong, pow. We can break more. Dolomite. No, I need to. But it's a defense. It's a coping mechanism. It's a defense like thing where it's like, oh, I don't want to be rejected, so I'd rather reject you
first. Yeah,
that's me.
Me too. All right, Jazz. What's a part of your "Are You the One" list?
I like what Shavonda said because I feel that, but one is like you gotta accept all of me, and I gotta accept all of you. Like I'm not fixated on your flaws. Like I accept them and I love them just as much as you. That's my thing. Cause I'm all out there. I do random crazy shit, and I don't want you ever looking at me like, oh, what the fuck? Why am I with this bitch? Like she's crazy. Or same thing with me. You do random shit like that dude we were watching that show. Like you do random shit like that. I want to be like, oh, that's still my nigga, even though he does some dumbass shit.
So always be your authentic self.
Yeah, it's not like come here. I was like, I don't like to give that to everybody. Like I even know if my voice is switch up. If I don't know you, Our voice don't know gets high or gets corrected.
She goes like boasting everything.
Yeah. Because just like at my job, I have to work and like I have to talk to people all day, so it's like my voice is not the same as like y'all here right now.
Oh, that reminds me of high school. Remember her voice at high school?
Yeah, so.
She used to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, because sometimes like I speak fast, and sometimes I think I'm mush mouth, but I be talking like that, and like people who know me know like, oh, they can usually break it down what I'm saying. It's not like, huh, what'd you say all the time? They get the gist of it. You know?
I think that makes you fun and interesting.
Yeah, but I want to be able to like the person I love. It's like I want him to show him every side. Like at first it's going to be like, oh hi, and then it's going to be like the mush mouth. Like I just said 16 things, and you be like, I got it, okay. Or like the irrationality or the crazy part. I like the only part I'm ever afraid to show anybody is like the anger part. Like that anger. I'd be like, I don't even know what I said. I could say, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, all that stuff.
Yeah, because me and Jess always be laughing because she be like going in on some of them songs. Like that Cardi B through your phone. You would think she didn't went through some crazy breakup.
That's the scary part. Like, she hasn't been through no heartbreak, but she got like
I think it's already
for like what she does. That's like,
bruh, she be
like,
what is her favorite line? Tell him you a bitch or something like that. She be going in. You sorry, Chase? Do it.
Call your mom phone. Let her know that she raised a bitch. Then y'all tone click.
You see her face?
It's just
yeah, she feeling it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, you went through
saying with that, like, I already got, like, even, I still have a fear of getting close to people, and I already got that, like, that fence. It's ironclad, and, like, electric fence, alligators. I'm just already right there.
Wow.
I don't want to be there anymore.
Why?
Like, why I have that? I have no idea. I have to investigate why I'm like that. I'm like, why am I, like, so reserved? Especially for people, like, I want the one. I want a husband. And like, in order to find that, I have to, like, I can still have a guard up, but it can't be like ironclad with all the electric fence and stuff. It's like, I gotta realize certain people are allowed to be in there.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Like, no one wants their heart broken. Like, you're emotional.
I am very emotional.
Hell
yeah. Like, no.
But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing, but you don't want to give your heart to somebody, and then like within a drop of a dime, like you giving your all, and that person's gonna be like, "Well, fuck you." Like, I don't. Especially if you saying you can be like, "Well, fuck your mama, fuck you." Like before somebody go, "Well, you brought up my mama years old." Like, they
be putting that bitch right there, like, "Yeah, fuck you, bitch. You made me, so fuck you."
Oh my god!
I feel like
so. I get you. You need somebody who's gonna take it all. Like they even know the craziness. Like
like you mad? Like you still mad? You want to get something to eat? Are you still mad about like that little thing? Like, why'd you take the last sip of my juice? I didn't go all crazy with it.
I think that's very important though, because that's something that I think that a lot of people have trouble with in terms of like not portraying somebody that someone can be in love with and just being you and figuring out whether or not that person can love you. Like, I think that's something that even with me, that kind of is a thing too, as a defense mechanism for what I talked about earlier, is that's an iteration of it. It's like you just portray who you want to be or who you are on the surface to that person rather than just like being you and who you are. Like I was saying to y'all the other day about like me in terms of like, oh, I didn't share a lot of things about things that I've been through or who like what. I share knowledge, and that's why people think that I'm open. Like, I share what I know so easily. I love doing it. I enjoy it. So people think, oh, she's an open book because she shares things that other people may not share because of knowledge. But I'm not sharing who I am or what I've been through or, you know, what I care about as much. You know?
It brings you to, like, a good question. But, like, when it comes to your significant other, what is considered, like, toxic change and healthy change? Like the healthy change you want of your spouse, and then like the toxic change. So like, because I get weird people like, oh, don't try to change me. But what if it's something that's a flaw that like you see, but like
a
character
flaw?
I feel like when you're with that person, you shouldn't go into that relationship with any type of motive to change them at all, not anything. Like,
just experience.
Even if it's like it's shit that they do, and you just like like, whoa,
you crazy.
Like, you crazy. But it's just like, hey, I like crazy.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, you know, I don't feel like there should be a point where it's just like you're putting forth effort to actively change somebody. Like, if you bring it up to them, like, hey, this made me feel uncomfortable, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, like, I understand that. Like, I want to change it on my own. That's fine. But it's just like, I feel like you should never really want to change someone. Even unless it's like something for the better. Like, if it's growth or something like that, like, what type? Like, you're giving them wisdom. Like, you're talking, you're having, like, conversations, and, like, then it's that type of change, like it's an upward growth type of change, then yeah, that's fine. But not like you trying to rebuild a man. Like you're trying to rebuild him from the.
That's when those lists come in.
Like they already meet.
Like, when you make the list, because
does not work.
Yeah, because I think there's two. Well, I think there's two. Well, I think
say negative.
That's what I was about to say.
I went too detailed.
But no, I think that's important too. I think it's how you. That's where lists come in. That's a great like segue into this conversation. I feel like with lists, there's a way of like these are like operating as glasses where this is what like I'm looking for, and I'm trying to fit you into what I'm looking for in these glasses, right? So like, I want this. I want like give an example, somebody of what's on their list.
So part of my list was I wanted someone that was like ambitious, someone who could communicate well, and then someone who was like honest. Those are like some of the qualities.
And those are great, right?
Yeah.
So then when you take that list, you're not trying to create those things in him. You want to see if those things naturally come out of him by your relationship with him. I think that's my perspective now too, is like instead of like trying to quiz you and see if you have those things, like, oh, are you honest? Do you communicate well? Do you know what I mean? Or you're trying to be like, I want you to communicate well. I want you to be honest. Because also men will kind of like try to do what you say.
Yeah.
You want to see what they naturally, who they are. And that's why I think there's my fear of rejection thing comes in too. Because it's like, I'm not going to double text you. I'm not going to do these things to see who you are. Because do I even fuck with who you are? And then like, you know what I mean? So I think that's important. The lists are very important. Let's keep talking about lists. Other ladies, one of y'all.
I just said not crazy.
What
does
that look like, though?
That's what I'm saying.
Because niggas is crazy, girl. I'm just gonna let you know.
Crazy is good.
But they're crazier than us.
Crazy, and then
they're crazy.
It's like niggas trying to fight everybody, paranoid about everything. It's like all
and that's a list too. That's a list of things that those are red flags.
Yeah.
Those are one like, oh shit. Like, whatever.
And I have healthy relationship with the family. That's a really important thing. Because I got a small family, and like with my sister-in-law. Sister-in-law, like I loved her from the jump. Like, and then her family was so embracing. They became my family. I want something like that, not somebody like who comes from like a toxic household. Like I go in, the mom trying to have issues with me already, and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. And then,
but I was about to say, what if he's different? But see, that's the thing that I thought about. But then, like you're imposing things on his character that are not within his control. Because my thing too is that like, okay, what if he's not a toxic person and his bond to his mother or to his brothers or to his friends is not toxic, but they are toxic.
And then even if you come around, the mama might love you. Like you see how she interacts with other people, and she might be a toxic person, but who you are, you bring out the best in him.
I think the worst case scenario, like we have kids on stuff and they don't even know that family because they don't want any part of like me or the kids.
No, that's a toxic bond he has though. So I could see that, but saying that like, oh, if he has a toxic mother, that's not something he can control. Now his bond with her, if she is a toxic
that's what
person,
I mean to say like
and how he could like maybe he speaks that
based
based on what we talked about earlier about ourselves.
Being healthy relationship, like he's like that.
Do you honor? Does he respect you, and does he honor himself? Then. If he can have toxic relationships, but in those toxic relationships, he knows how to handle it, how to honor you, how to honor his family, how to honor himself. I don't see a problem.
He has insight to it. He's aware of it, and it's just like you guys have conversations about it, and then you got to understand, like there might be something that rub off on him, but it's something that he wants to change, and he's aware of it. Like,
I feel like knowledge about. So another part of my list is I wanted someone that was like sexually like adventurous.
Because she free.
If you're gonna be with someone for a long time, like y'all gonna have to like try different things, like figure it out.
Okay,
y'all can't be doing the same thing. Y'all can't be doing the same thing for like ever. So
I know. Y'all think about like 60 years together, same position. That just seems like they already know when it's gonna happen, when you gonna come, and then go back to their business. No.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want something like let's be on the balcony. Let's be like different places. Like
what?
A healthy sex life. I think that's it. That's reasonable.
But I'm open, like, is open with their body, like knows like what they like and what they don't like.
Exactly, and not approved
or willing to figure it out what they do and don't like.
Yeah. That's important. I think too. Because I feel like you are in touch with your own body as a woman more now too. I think that's important because sometimes there are women who like aren't, and I think that is a component to not having a good sexual relationship with a man too. Because I feel like if you are a little bit more sexually like in tune with you and like what you like or whatever, then sometimes even when the dude isn't doing all that what he's supposed to be doing, like you could still kind of figure it out too, you know? And I feel like it's important when he kind of, because I feel like when you have relations with someone else, sometimes you can be completely like in yourself, feeling secure, feeling like I don't second guess myself, but your relations with that person who has like weird sexual energy, who's insecure with his own body,
it rubs off on you.
It rubs off on you so tough, and you be like, "Where the fuck did I get?" There was nothing wrong with my mindset about anything that I was doing until
now you're like, weird.
This insecure person who, I mean, you know, I want you to grow, but not off me. Cause ain't no well over here, bitch. You ain't no barnacle. This ain't no symbiotic relationship right here, my guy. No.
I say that's what I love about like our generation. So the generation we're growing into is like women are able to embrace and accept their sexuality. You know. And what they want sexually. It's not saying, oh, you're a whore, you're all that stuff, because you want to figure out sexually what kind of sexual goddess you are.
Like, not even sexual. Like, I want to be a more sensual person.
Me
that
too.
Is
like,
I want,
cat
because even growing up, seriously. And it's just for myself. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just for myself. Because growing up, I remember always looking at, TV or the magazines and seeing these beautiful women, very feminine. I didn't really have that like growing up. Like no real like makeup, like nothing, like not really getting hair or nails. Well, we got our hair done, but like not nails or anything, but just feeling good in my own body. Like,
y'all know y'all can come over here.
You know, no, seriously, like even coming over here, like I love the idea of just sitting on a balcony in a bikini.
Right, you know that's
wearing like stuff like that. Like
lower ranking.
Yeah, like no, I love it. Like it brings out this sense of empowerment.
It does.
Beauty and just like I'm here.
You know, there was actually this exact conversation I was watching yesterday or the day before yesterday that this man was having about his performance in health bodybuilding, and it was related to this. I'll try to tell it as quick as I can. So he was trying to bodybuild, and he was like doing very strict routine and stuff, and he was like, why am I not cutting the right way, like physically? You know, man, we're doing all this shit, I'm supposed to be gaining a lot of muscle mass. And the guy he was like training with, he was like, hey, you need to go to the doctor and maybe check your hormone levels, your testosterone levels. He was like, what? He was like, yeah. And mind you, they don't tell men that, but they also don't tell women about our estrogen levels. But that's a side note. So he goes to the doctor and he does the test, and he was like, you actually have very low testosterone. He's like, it's below the normal range. It was like at least, I think they said it was like 300 to 600 is the healthy range, something like that. I don't really remember, but his was like in like 2 something or whatever, right? So that was the gap. So he started getting like more hormone therapy and taking more, like eating more foods that promote hormone growth, taking more maca powder, all this other stuff. And he was like, a lot of the foods that we eat and just a lot of the things that we do don't promote hormone balance, and that kind of helps. That also prevents not only our physicality, but think about what you were saying earlier about like certain like male groups or whatever, and their like emotions and how they act, and how we're seeing like a lot more males who aren't doing what we stereotypically want. It could be also like hormonally. Like, think about it. I know my feelings and emotions and how I behave fluctuate with my own hormone imbalances. And women, we naturally operate on hormone imbalance. Like, that's the whole idea of a menstrual cycle. So imagine these men who like aren't getting and doing even like the stereotypical things that they would be doing to like help out their own hormonal levels. So, but yeah, that's an iteration of what you're just saying. Okay, I will. I was just doing it. It's got to be somewhere on my Instagram.
Yeah. Because we were just talking about that. A whole nother.
That's another one. Not here.
Yeah. Because I think that can take a whole.
Yeah, that can go left. So, but I think it's valid. Okay, so well, someone had said like sexually aroused, right, or sexually adventurous. I said aroused.
I know where your mind is at.
No,
I'm kidding. Another thing that was big for me, like on the list, was patience.
Yeah.
Only because I know that's something that I lack, and I wanted to be able to see it and kind of like
mimic it.
Yeah, mimic it. So that's a beautiful thing. Like having somebody who is actually patient, because it's just like, how are you patient? And this actually, like, a lot of different conversations erupt from that too. It's just like, how can you not be upset like when somebody cuts you off or something? You know, just like when you gotta wait them. How are you not upset? Like, how do you keep it cool?
Yeah, I think going off of that, like, I realized lately, I used to think I was like so patient, but I'm really, really like impatient, and I can't deal with people who like can't make decisions. I make my decisions like that. If we're going to the same place to eat, I know like what I'm gonna eat. I don't need to look at the menu for like 20 minutes to decide what I want to eat. But like my boyfriend is like the total like opposite. Like, we'll go to Jack in the Box and he'll look at the menu in like 10 minutes, order the same thing I know he was gonna get me got the last time, and
you want to pretend like you had options
and complain about the price like it changed. It taught me to really just be like, okay, like, I've learned to like deal with it, but also be like, okay, like, people are actually like this out here, and you just gotta, it's okay. Like, nothing's gonna happen in like the 5 minutes it takes him to order that like would have happened if it didn't. So it's really taught me that, okay, everything doesn't have to be like when you want it, when it has to be done. Yeah. Like, it's okay to like, you know, have some time to think on things. And I think for me, it helped me because I make decisions like really like quick like this, and I don't really think about like the consequences. Yeah, my sister's like that too. Like, she'll think about it, and for me, it's just like, I'm just make a decision. It's gonna go how it's gonna go. So,
which honestly, sometimes I admire. Sometimes I think like, are you fucking kidding me? I always think about like the scenario of like the scary movies. Like, you don't want to make the decision like that because like if you're wrong, you got killer got you. But if you're right, okay, you're cool. You gotta make
fight or flight kicks in. You got to make a quick decision. You either sit there in that moment, you fight, or you run your ass away.
Like, you still gotta be strategic about it. Because if you just like, oh shit, I'ma just run. This nigga's like a fucking leopard and run past the motherfucker. You got.
Not a leopard.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I'm a zoologist. But yeah.
Leopards go fast too. I
think the fucking cheetah, my bad. I meant cheetah. But cheetah, we all edit this.
I got you.
Yeah. Thank you, Siobhan.
One of them cats. One of them cool cats.
just left you like
they honestly didn't sound right.
I love me some leopards.
The name came later. I meant to say cheetah, but leopard came first.
We know what
leopards are fast. Shit, I
know this might sound stupid, but leopards they got like spots too, right? Or they're like black.
They the bomb ones. They the ones that I always wear.
Yeah, the print. Cheetahs like have like the smaller print.
Yeah, the smaller ones. They don't.
Okay, so I was in the right area.
So patience, what's another?
I don't know if they can hear me, so y'all keep.
Oh, okay.
Maybe compassion, you know? Maybe some.
Oh, definitely compassion and empathy.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like
Empathy,
a lot of people that I've dated in the past lack empathy.
Man, girl.
Like a lot. So being able to see two sides of things too. So very people who are open minded. So that's what I need. I need someone who's open minded. And then
In what way?
just like even everything when it comes to food, like okay, you down to try like a different food. Like if I'm telling you something's good, you're like okay, like I'm gonna trust you. I want to try it. Like that's cool. Even like when we can have certain conversations on certain issues that's going on around the world, like you're open minded about that. You're just not super conservative. Even if you are conservative, you have your opinions, of course. You can still kind of see where I'm coming from. Yeah. It's okay. I think they can hear you. See. What else do you think, Tyler? Or Jasmine?
Yeah, anybody who's thinking about it.
Self-minded.
I think I wanted someone who was able to like communicate their emotions.
Woo,
Because I'm not a mind reader. Like I'm not gonna. I hate passive aggressiveness, but I'm also very passive aggressive. So, but at the same time, shut up. Like if I do something that hurts your feelings, like I want you to be able to tell me like that hurt my feelings, and not you being like passive aggressive about it, and I'm having to guess like what I did.
Ooh,
to, like, hurt
no,
your
for
feelings.
real. That was. I think
That's
that
a big trait
That's
for
an
me,
issue.
though.
That's definitely an issue, especially like when you do something I think that your partner doesn't like. They don't say anything directly to you. They let it build up.
Yeah.
And eventually it gets to a point where it's just like, well, you do this, blah, blah, blah. It was just like, why didn't
Well, why
you
didn't you
tell
tell
me
me
this?
this?
Yeah,
Like,
this is
in
something
the
like I'm
beginning.
actually willing to work on. I told you communication was key.
But
Just tell me.
I've been doing that self-analysis too because I'd be like, oh, I want them to say this or I want him to do this. But am I doing that?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't doing what I wanted from that person. Because that's one of the things that I've always said that I wanted was someone who can communicate with me, just keep it 100, completely honest, doesn't have to really like sugarcoat anything. But you know, like what I said earlier about like saying things effectively, but also with care, right? So if I wanted that, I wasn't giving that at all. Like I wasn't communicating. So how can you expect something that you don't get?
Yeah.
So you're saying like self-evaluate.
Yeah.
Can you guys not teach each other though? If that's something that the both of you guys want.
If you're not aware of it,
But you have to you have to do it. Like
Exactly.
you have to
You have to
practice
model
what
it.
you preach.
Yeah.
It's not just do it and expect that person to be doing it too. You actually have to tell them too. Like,
Yep. And
this is what
model
I
it.
want.
Yeah.
Like how with kids, though. With kids, when you, instead of telling the kid, because we can tell kids all day long what they should be doing, but if we don't model it, they don't retain it.
True.
And so that's why I think, and that's exactly, and I think the component, like you're saying, Jess, about like, you can teach each other that too, but that's through modeling it. Like, because you're not going to get it right every single time, but when it matters, you model it. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that you're going to catch every time that you need to do it either, but that's those times when he teaches you. When you don't catch yourself. But at least there are times that you model where you do catch yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on for myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect because I have not done that. But
I think that's big.
Yeah.
Because I can even sometimes, I think, get caught up in my feelings to a point where even though I would have liked to have said something, I'm just like, okay, all right, and don't say anything. And it's the same thing. Like I'm not practicing exactly what I'm doing.
Same.
That's like me too. Like, if my feelings get hurt, I get mad, like passive aggressive, and I just be like,
Okay, never lie.
I'm the queen.
What?
Ask for all that extra. I'm the queen of like the silent treatment. Like I will silent treatment you
To death.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember one time I stayed in the bathroom for like 2 hours because I didn't want to come out. Like I didn't want to say anything. Like like I was just in the bathroom. Like I don't want to see your face, nothing. I'm just gonna stay in for 2 hours.
2 hours in the
That's
bathroom.
crazy.
You was taking a shit.
No, I was in there just trying to calm down too. Just,
Oh, okay.
just thinking, meditating.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You didn't go off on nobody?
Mm-mm. Another thing I was just thinking about, I think you had touched on it earlier, definitely loyalty. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm one of those type of people, like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like loyalty is bigger to me than like love. Like, I'd rather
that's love to me.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the most purest form of love, like that you can show somebody is through your loyalty.
Yep.
And like loyalty
when I'm not around.
Yes.
A lot of people's definitions of loyalty, I think, are kind of messed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
Different.
Because I feel like they feel like loyalty is doing what that person says like all the time. But that to me is just like, if I'm wrong, I expect for you to like correct me
in the
right way.
Yeah.
So whether I'm there or not, like if someone, even if you didn't agree with what I said or what I did, like you're gonna hold me down, but also, you know, let me know like, hey, you kind of crossed the line.
And you do that in
private. That is one of my biggest things. Like if we out in public and I say something that's not right, you still right there. But as soon as we get in that car, you're gonna be like, baby. So you
was tripping.
And it's cool, like, because I think at that point too, it's just like, damn, like, okay, all right, yeah, you're right. Because like, if you try to like not be on my side in front of everybody else,
like disrespectful one, and it's like, oh, now I gotta question your loyalty. Yeah. It's like, oh, you doing that? That's what we doing.
Some people would argue like, if I don't correct you there, then I'm not being loyal to like myself.
No,
so put your little ego to the side, because it ain't about you right
situation. It's like if we had a club with something pop off and all that stuff, and it's over something I said. What are you gonna do? You gonna just be like, oh, let them attack me, let them get on me, or you just gonna like defend me, and then later be like, you know, you were foul, you know, you like fucked up. Like,
and I feel like trust the person you with. Like you in a relationship with me, you should know me. You know, I'm not gonna do anything crazy or say anything stupid,
and even if I do,
to really hurt somebody like that, or you know, cause us to be in any danger. So it's just like, if it come down, you don't know the full story. Hey, come over here. Like you have my back. I'm gonna do the same for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless it's about like being cute, like if we about to be cute, then we got that little pep talk, a little hurt on the side. Like, hey, you really want to do this right now? Like, you should.
Are you sure? Are you okay?
You sure?
Because I'm riding with you.
Yeah.
So.
And that's another thing. Somebody, I'm an Aries, so someone who kind of like level heads me, because I have road rage. Like, I might not show it, I think, to a lot of people, but I legit have road rage. Like, somebody can cut me off, and I think that person is the worst motherfucking person in the whole world. Like, I will be cursing and, like, everything. So it's just, like, showing me that those type of things are insignificant. Like, it's just, like, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, that person cut you off. They could have caused a car crash, but did the car crash happen? No. Right. So, like, why are you feeding into that?
Like, level-headedness, I got it.
I mean, I kind of want a hothead too, but we can't do it at the same time, you know.
I don't need a hothead. I think if we had hothead, somebody gonna end up dead.
Oh gosh.
Like an argument happened, instead of calming you down, like hyping you up.
Man,
take the pencil.
But we're talking about relationships. What about like friendships and loyalty with that? What do you expect out of that? Your expectations for loyalty with your friends. Is it the same or is it different? Family and friends.
That's nothing. I don't even expect loyalty to friendship. I just feel that it's there. Like, I feel like once you have expectations, like you said, certain things of loyalty are different for different people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't even really expect it. It's just like, it's like kind of like, I don't want to say that. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Say it.
I was gonna say like, it's just not. It's like having faith.
No,
like,
yeah.
That it's just there. I was gonna say, believe me in God. You don't know you.
But it's
just like no. It's just like having like faith. It's just like, hey, like this person is loyal to me. They're gonna have
because you know that person. You know that person has your best intentions, and so loyalty is just that. It's like that person. When I'm around, when I'm not around, has my best intentions. So they're not gonna do things that are the opposite of that. And that's what loyalty is. So I don't even have to write it down. I know what it is because I know you as a person.
Yeah.
That's what I want in a partner too.
Exactly.
Loyalty, but not blind loyalty. I don't do blind loyalty. No.
But what does that look like?
Well, I want to do like what Jessica was saying. It's like, well, I forgot how you phrased it. It was better the way you phrased it. But loyalty is like you like meaning like they can do no wrong, whatever they do goes and all that stuff. That's blind loyalty because like a loyal person, like we said, like communicates and express like yo when that person's fucked up. They don't just like if a person says the earth is flat, it's like yeah my girl said the earth is flat, so the earth is flat. Like
but
no.
You're exactly right. That's why I think that's my definition of what loyalty is. I feel like you can't be loyal because that's what I meant earlier about having somebody's best interest in mind. Is loyalty is having someone's best interest in mind, which means that if I know that you're in the wrong, it's not within your best interest for me to side with you. And this is within your best interest in that moment that I stick up for you so that we show a solid front and you feel supported, but that I address it with you afterwards because you can't continue to operate like that.
Yeah.
That's what true loyalty is to me.
Yeah.
You know? Because otherwise, to me, that's you're being a yes man.
Yeah.
And I don't need a yes man in my life. I don't.
Yes men aren't like real, like friends nor a real person you want in your life. You know, they might be a good person when like you feeling down, they just hype the shit out of you. But like for a long time thing, long relationship, like no, it's not the person you want.
Exactly.
So I'm like you said, we're not perfect. Someone's gonna do like fucked up shit. I need somebody to correct like. Because I want a long, healthy life.
But I think that sometimes with even what you're even saying, like you want someone who loves you like your authentic self. Like with yes men, I feel like a lot of people get in relationships and that's what happens because they get so stuck on this idea of this person. They want to keep this person around. You do whatever, whenever you can to please that person. And I'll be completely honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was a point where I was a yes woman. Like, you want to keep that person around so badly. It's just like, whatever I can do for you, I'm here. And I feel like, no, you can still do that in a healthy relationship. Like, hey, like, I'm here for you. But they should know that, like, just off the bat. Not, like, always being, it was a difference between always, like, literally, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm here for you. Like, you know, like, whatever they would say, like, not really speaking your opinion or how you truly felt because you thought that person was going to end up leaving. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yes.
Really acknowledge that, though.
Yeah. It's like that fear of being alone because you'd rather be with a bad company than be like by yourself.
Or not even the alone, too. It's like, I just really like something about you. I'm physically attracted to you. I saw or I created this narrative of you that's not even who you are.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what I want out of you.
Yeah.
It's like what I can see. I see
but
your
it's
potential.
also what that person showed you, though. Yeah. That person wasn't showing you 100% of themselves, too.
It was
they
the
showed you
this.
Page. They gave you exactly what you needed
to keep you and reel you in for a little while. But then there are other things in your life where it was a sign that he wasn't for you, but because you built this narrative around what he showed you in the past, you overlook certain things and you be like, okay, whatever, like, I like you because whatever, like, I see something in you that I like or whatever it is. And it's not even about insecurity or anything like that.
It's about really, I think, when you care for somebody.
Yeah, you're like, I fuck with you. Like, I like you. You know?
Like,
you're in my space. Remember, we circling back to what we all said earlier about who we want in our space.
But the thing is, I think it was a good reason because that wasn't truly reciprocated all the way. Even though I wanted that person in my space, and thank you God for allowing that barrier to be put there. That person wouldn't let me in their space all the time.
The same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Side note, shout out to vegan ice cream.
Right? Man.
Like, it tastes straight.
For it to be vegan is good, but I can still taste the difference.
I did not. It's amazing. Like,
this lactose intolerant motherfucker. Yeah.
Like,
just because I can't digest dairy don't mean I don't know.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream? If it's like from my ice cream shop, it's like cake batter. But if it's not, it's like butter pecan.
Okay, so that's why this taste. I actually like vanilla, so like that true vanilla taste.
That thrifty.
Yeah,
but no, this is a good cash. Well, hey, remember the sage one was popping.
It was. We
love everything
it was
sage.
flavored.
Yeah.
When you add different flavors to something, I feel
it
like
tastes
you can
different.
kind of like, you can really.
And yeah, they have like some French vanilla one. I want to try a French vanilla one.
That might be a little.
Because
So this is
it's a little more
vanilla?
fancy. Yeah, it's just plain.
But it's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, y'all. We got an apple pie with some vegan ice cream on top and some Cool Whip.
This was a good serving size.
Because I know, right? It was just nice and little. I thought putting in the mugs would be kind of cute. You know,
it was.
I don't think y'all can't taste the difference. Like this tastes like regular whipped cream. Y'all saying that?
Hey!
Alternative.
No, I like that better in a different way sometimes. But no, whipped cream tastes different than that. Yeah. That has a specific taste. Sometimes I just crave Cool Whip. I don't know why. It's not that good for you, but
it's not.
I don't think so. I mean, it's low in fat and calories, but I think the chemicals in it.
Yeah, it's chemicals made with like oils, a lot of oils.
But what kind of?
Like canola.
Vegetable.
Yeah,
but they have some healthier ones I want to try. Yeah, they have some healthier ones like made out of other shit.
Well,
yeah, coconut milk. I had that whipped cream and coconut milk.
I can't really do like I only have dairy on the weekends with friends. So, you know, I don't be eating a lot of stuff during the week. Cheat days are fine, y'all.
Cheat days are vital.
Yeah. They help you with your regular. For me, at least, it helps get me on track. Shoot, sometimes I can fast for like 2-3 days afterwards because I be like, all right, shit, you better get it together. Shit.
Yeah, it's like 80-20.
Somebody need me to take anything?
I'm letting my ice cream melt into my pie.
Go ahead, girl. Look at it.
Yeah,
I'm letting my ice cream melt into my pie.
I'm telling you, go fuck with this ice cream. So yeah, with health it comes like 80-20. Like 80% of the time you're doing what you're supposed to do. Don't trip on the 20% you're not.
Yeah. I feel like it's just also listening to your body.
Yeah.
Like I feel like now I'm just at a point where it's like I don't really care too much about like the weight as much, but when my body starts telling me certain things, it's just, and I know it's because of the extra weight I put on. That's when it makes a difference. Of like certain things. Like my back pain is no joke. Yeah. I'm too young to be having back pain.
Me too. My muscles. I'm too young for that shit. Wow, I literally sound like that dude from that movie.
Your knees start popping and stuff. It's just like I feel like
That's why like I got a lot. I'm very flexible and all that shit now, but I'm trying to get these like Megan.
Yeah.
Show off.
No, because once you get to 30, it's gonna be hard.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to bust it open
take
right
advantage,
now.
Yeah, take advantage of what
high school, what I used to do.
Jasmine just called me a shark because I said I'm flexible. And Jasmine used to be busting the splits all the time in high school. Every fucking party, busting the damn splits. I'm just stretching my damn house.
I can't do that shit now. I want to go back to that.
That's what you gotta do now. That's what we see. We gotta age with grace. A bitch trying to be beautiful.
No,
her
for
own
real.
age.
Like Iman, what's her name? What's her name?
Iman is bomb.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett.
Naomi Campbell. Taraji.
Yeah.
Nicole Murphy.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yo. Good. Even Jada kind of looking a little old to me.
Jada, yeah, because I think she got a little bit of face on it.
Okay.
But she still looks pretty.
Her mom, though.
Her mom is better than her.
Yeah. Like, mama, what you doing? I don't think her mom, is her mom in a relationship?
I don't know. She's
I found out that a lot of women, though, like, who look good, like, at an older age.
Aren't with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's this 64-year-old bodybuilder I watched on YouTube. She's beautiful. I went through looking through like what she eats in a day. Mind you, I eat less than her a day, so I was like, okay, we cool. Yeah. But she looks beautiful. She do not look. I mean, 64. Where? The bitch look like she in her 30s.
Man, can't even tell.
The bitch, the lady, the young lady.
You know what's goals? I keep telling Titus it's Maya's goals. Like
Maya, yeah.
Maya looks
Maya
beautiful.
does look good. Even Ashanti looks good.
Yeah, Ashanti looks good too. Keisha looks good.
True.
But I feel like they're all like either single or like don't have kids. So
Hey,
Maya got kids?
Something.
Maya don't.
I thought she does.
Maya?
I thought she
I
does.
don't think she does.
Nah,
Oh.
Maya got no kids. At least from what I know.
Does Iman have kids?
Who?
Iman, yes. With David Bowie.
Angela Bassett's thing?
yeah.
Yeah, with
But
Courtney
I thought she had a surrogate.
Who?
Angela Bassett.
I think so.
But I want to have that experience if I could have that experience. I don't want to have
Yeah. And to be married. I have my reservations about marriage, but I think I want to give it a try. Because I'm just also just like, it's not an end all be all. Like, I would love for it to be an eternal thing.
Yeah.
And it's just because marriage is just more of a concept. But I want the thing that's behind the marriage more than anything else.
Yeah.
But when you talk to other people, of course, it's just like, oh, are you married? And it's just like, you be like, no, but you've been with somebody for 50 years. They're going to be like, why didn't you just get married? And you're like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason why I would probably get married is just because of the whole societal aspect, but also the economic
There's benefits
aspect.
behind it, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
financial wise,
like tax benefits and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want
nah,
shoot
I'm
before
fine.
I get married. If I'm with you past a year or two, we need to be operating like we are anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, how long, if you with somebody, how long y'all willing to wait?
For a ring,
Yeah, for a ring for marriage and all that. How long are you willing, like, yo,
4
you just said
years.
it.
I'm at a point where I think I'm waiting 2 years. Because I wouldn't
I was
mind
gonna say
being
2.
engaged for like
2 years. Me
yeah,
too. Like I don't want to
give
get married
it
right away.
time. Yeah, and then I mean we can even be engaged for up to 3 years. Like, I don't really care because like just to take us time, like to still get to know each other
Financially,
and
yeah.
financially, like just to put things in place. I wouldn't even mind having a kid during that time too. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I want to be at a minimum engaged.
yeah,
But because I let's go to a topic. A hot topic is like Milano and Meek Mill. So Milano is a self-made business owner. She has a business in Philadelphia, like a boutique called Milano DeRouge, and it's kind of got big, right? And people know of her. She's very known in Philadelphia, and she's dating Meek Mill, and she's just this boss-ass woman who didn't have kids, whatever, and she wanted to, it seems that, like, she was the type of woman who, you get married and have kids kind of thing, and she was trying to establish that with Meek, but then recently, after having their first kid, the son together, I think it's the son, Meek and her broke up, and he, like, though he didn't really publicly claim her as much, we all knew they were together, and he eventually said something, but he went straight to social media to say that they weren't together anymore. And so, like, Milano had posted something.
Like, why do you have to put that on? Is it more because you're trying to set that boundary for somebody else?
I think so, but also it was just kind of, like, weird when you were so private to not claim her in public eye for
but
so
now you
long,
want to
but
publicly disclaim
so
her.
quick.
So I'm thinking there must be another woman, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, it must be, but that's so.
Or someone you're interested in.
Yeah, but I'm just like, you just had I'm scared of that.
Oh, baby.
Like,
Yeah.
having a
Baby
kid with
changing.
somebody, and then all of a sudden it's just like, you don't want me no more.
That's what I don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my problem. It's just like, if I invest my time in you, I want to know that you're doing the same type of checklist and like thought process as I am.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have some kind of epiphany
Yeah.
years later. I want you to be working on deciding whether or not I'm for you, just as I am working on making that decision honestly with you.
Yeah.
I don't want you
Yeah.
to be like just in it, whatever, and then you have some epiphany and be like, this isn't what I ever really wanted.
Yeah.
Like, no, I want you to be questioning that while we're getting to know each other.
But
Because
sometimes
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
know
waste my
till you know.
motherfucking
Like,
time.
with
No,
the
I
kids,
feel like that's a
I
mutual
feel like
understanding because
kids-
as soon as I sit here, we end up conceiving, like having, like, I'm pregnant, that 4, 5, 6 week mark, if we decide, like, we're going to keep this and you are in it too, like, you want to keep it, like, there's a mutual understanding that, hey, it's me and you right now, and it's something way bigger coming into the picture. So it's just like, you can't decide 10 months from now, 11 months from now,
That
like,
we
oh,
not.
this ain't working.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
no.
just
So
talked
you
the
want
fucking
somebody
baby
who's
out.
Yeah.
always working, like,
Working on yourself.
Yeah, working on yourself, and then also at the same time establishing, like, yo, life is about to change because, like, baby's coming in like 9 months, and I gotta be ready to accept the change that's coming versus relationship wise and versus like becoming a parent. You want somebody who's always working it, not somebody who puts it off. Be like, oh, I tell you I'm thinking about it, but I'm not really thinking about it. And the baby comes, and then the reality hits, and then you're overwhelmed. You're like, yes.
No, it's
Because
that person's
women-
responsibility though. Like when you guys first like
Make
that decision. Like even if they're not in it, they need to tell you right there. Even if they're having any
I
type of
respect
like
that,
cold feet.
Because
They need
I'm
to
the
tell
one
you
who's
right
stuck
there.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they need to tell you right then and there. Because then you have your answer. Not when it's like the baby's here and it's just like, oh, well.
Because then I can make the decision whether or not I want to have the baby.
Yeah.
But because I'm under this false pretense that like you're going
Gonna
to
be
do
there,
right, because
yeah.
I firmly believe in, hopefully if I can, that's why I'm so protective of my space too, because I'm trying to protect my future child, to be honest. Like I don't want to have a child with the nothing ass man.
Yeah.
And that's nothing financial wise either. I feel
No,
like that
it's
goes
not even
beyond
about
that.
financial.
not about that.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
like the man I could conceive a child with right now could hit every mark but financial, and it would be perfectly fine. As because I have my own situation, but also a man that, and I said this on Instagram. People were like, "What? This is dope," and I'm like, "Yeah, no." Sometimes I be coming with the little shit, but a man with a mind that I'm looking for will never be broke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that.
They may
Because
be
they're wealthy
poor.
in the mind.
You can be poor, but you will never be
Be
broke.
well, yes.
That's even for myself too. Like I may be poor financially, but being broke would never be something.
No,
Yeah.
because one, you'll never.
Or it's
be,
the reverse. I would never be broke, but I can be. Isn't that reverse?
I didn't say that line, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it's like you can be broke, but you'll never be poor.
That sound. I mean, that sounds.
I mean,
good.
either way,
either
way, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you have wealth of the mind, like, because my thing is like, you won't be completely dirt, like poor, like not have any money, but also like financially, but also it's not even that. It's about like whether or not you just are a beautiful person to be around. That's a big thing too, that people want to be around you. You attract that. You will attract money if you are positively attracting everything else in your life.
Yeah.
So I don't really care right now if you're not attracting the money. Maybe you just have a quick blockage. Maybe I can help with your fucking blockage. Not me giving you anything, but my presence and my drive of what I want to do. Maybe
Inspire you.
yeah, or not even. Maybe your role, you've been prepared by the universe to help me do what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
That'll end up benefiting us,
Both of
your
us.
family,
Yeah.
and my family. Like, don't
Or
block
it's
that
just
shit.
the whole concept of just you'll be hustling too.
Yeah, you a hustler.
Yeah, you're a hustler.
However,
So
you
even if
make
it's not,
money.
it may not be the type of money that you get.
Imagine,
you
yeah.
imagine, or you see
But
other
you
people
got
having.
stuff.
But you have something, and you're happy that you're
Yeah.
making do with what you have, and it just goes beyond.
And you can always level up.
Mhm.
You know that. You don't feel
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah.
And you know how,
Yeah,
like,
consistent.
oh, if I have
Yeah, I
this
get
support, if you have vision. And that's the thing that, like, just a man who has a vision is unstoppable. Like, and it doesn't matter if he has setbacks because the vision is still there. So I can even help in those setbacks. I thrive off of helping people.
Yeah.
That's just my
People
personality.
pleasers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want nobody also who like has one setback and then it's like, oh, I'm done. I tried, I'm done. Like, yeah.
And keep happening. Like, I could see a major setback that may turn you, like someone in your family dies or something like that, where, like, you know, you start questioning certain things or whatever, or someone in your, like, close circle or whatever the case may be, or someone turned on you. I could see that as a major setback, but eventually you can.
Get back up.
And through my help, through the help of yourself, through the help of
Yeah.
God, through whatever your family,
Like it's a major
whatever it is.
setback, but it's not the final setback.
Yeah,
It's
like you can
yeah.
still, you know that your life still has to go on, that the world still turns no matter what, even if we're not in it. So what, like, you know what I mean? So you know how to, like, process things.
So
you don't shut down.
that brings us into like your judgment of when you pick someone too as a partner. It's just like I remember, like, I used to think so big on like a man is only as good as his word. But I feel like that has nothing to do with it anymore. It's just his actions. It's how you observe
Yeah,
how he moves and
because
everything.
And
it's
you
just
talk.
People talk, but it's just like it's the action behind those words.
Woo!
Yes.
Because actions
Yes.
speak much louder if you
Louder.
really think about it. And those are the things where we don't process emotionally and speak up in those times where they can say all this kind of candy to you, and so you hold on to the candy because women, we like words of affirmation.
Yeah.
We like being told things because we like explanations.
Yeah.
And so when a nigga says words, we hold on to it and we might
I'm
overlook
beyond
action.
that now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and even just actions too. It's more of just like, has this happened? What
Patterns.
There you go.
Patterns of behavior, yeah.
Because
Because
they tell
it's
you they
both.
love you, but if they're not showing you
Then that's
without
not
you
love.
having to say anything, I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
it's not.
Even the
It's
little
not
things,
real.
yeah.
Yeah, care. Like,
Yeah.
care. Or even, like, going back to the whole poor mindset. If the man doesn't give you anything financially or he isn't financially stable, he's giving you other things.
Mm-hmm.
Not just sex. Like, I mean, giving you, like,
Advice.
quality
Even
time,
advice, or just
advice, care, some listening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just the fact of like, hey, how are you doing today? And like wanting to hear what you have to say or asking questions, being inquisitive about things that you care about or you like, or like doing those things matter more half the time than what a man has in his pockets, because women will be with you in the damn dirt. Like, that's what men forget. They be thinking that all these women just go, no, the reason
it's
why we
starting
do
to
that.
switch now because of it.
I was thinking that, but
Yeah.
I really got down to it. And it's like like women are saying that because that's our cop out. If I'm not gonna get nothing that I need from you emotionally and everything else, then at least let me get some money from it. Because niggas aren't doing the emotional shit no more. So if I'm not getting that,
buy a Birkin, you know.
yeah, like at least you know he's putting in investment wise. He's doing one of the love languages of acts of service or gift giving. That one. Gift giving, you know, so you're like, well, at least the nigga's gonna give me gifts since he's not giving me quality time, not doing words of affection, not giving me acts of service.
Yeah.
So at least let me get a gift, nigga.
But I think it's also like it's the reciprocity.
Reciprocity,
Because even though, like, let's say your love language might be quality time,
His might not be.
it's not even so much that. What if he just, even though that might be the person for you, we also have to keep in mind you might not be the person for him.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest thing. Cause it's like, you might really enjoy loving, spending some time with people, and like they'll do it because that's what you want.
But that's not what
that's
they
not
want.
really what they want, and it's just because they don't.
But
want
that's what I'm saying. With
Have somebody
that's
compatible.
well, not even compatible. But what I was saying about even like in a marriage where you should be, or like in a relationship, you should always be assessing whether or not you want to be with that other person. And don't waste your time. When you know for sure that like, I don't really see much going with this person, either make it clear or don't waste your time with that. Because it wastes both of y'all time.
True.
You know? It's because the thing is too, especially as you get older, why so many people are out in this world. Why even waste your time with somebody you don't want to be with? For what? Because you want to have attention?
You want someone right then.
That's, you want
don't
attention.
Want to be alone.
And like,
you can get attention from so many different people.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's the type of attention. I think people, there's different types of attention that you can get.
Yeah.
You just have to know what type of attention you
want.
Yeah,
but
most
to be honest, people
settle for that comfortability. Most people don't want to settle for that because, like, we continue to talk about this fear of rejection. It's like, I already have something. I don't want to lose something if I don't have something to go to. So
and that's
like,
a
I'd rather
nigga
be
thing.
here.
That's the thing that, and women do it too. It's like, I'm not gonna get out of this thing just in case I don't find what I really want. But that's because you're not
alone.
But that's the problem that I think people have, is that they're not comfortable with being by themselves. Like, they don't love themselves just by themselves.
That's an excellent point. Just people don't want to be by themselves.
And
they
that's
don't know
sad.
how to be by themselves.
So you don't like you, so then that goes.
You if you don't like you,
boom. That's the next step. That's what I was just about to say.
So then how love you?
So then how are you gonna have this good relationship with another person if you don't have a good relationship with yourself?
Sometimes people are scared to be by themselves because they
That's
don't really
sad.
want to dig into like
The dirt.
and
the trauma,
unwrap
and
all
all
that
that
stuff. So it's just like I'm gonna focus on someone else because it's easier.
But then you have a horrible ass relationship.
Yeah, and things are going wrong. Yeah, 50% is the other person, but the other 50% is you.
I think that's something that's always going to be ongoing too, though. like when people do have to dig into themselves and look into trauma, that's not just a one and done type
No,
of
that's
thing.
a consistent
So
thing.
it's just like, even like if people aren't like, I mean, I think you can go through phases of it. I think there can be a point where it's just like you spend your alone time, you go through it, you unravel it, you get with somebody, and it's like things are going fine, but that shit comes back up, and you have to unravel it. But I think it comes to a point where you can't do it alone anymore. You have to open. You don't have to, but it's best if you open up with that person that you're with and see if that baggage, in a sense, I guess, is okay with them, and they're willing to go through it with you.
Yeah, that's evolving, because you're supposed to like evolve as much as you can, and to a place where you can be in a healthy relationship that can create that. Because otherwise, if you're not at a certain point, then you won't even be comfortable with sharing that with another person and being vulnerable with another person.
And that's when I think that's when you end up in miserable
relationships.
relationships, because like you end up all depressed and just moody, and the other person doesn't know what's going on with you. You're taking it out on that person because that's the person you're closest to. You're wanting to spend that much time with. You think you're. Oh, that's crazy. And I'm not saying I'm talking about myself. It's just crazy.
No, in
like
general.
It's like a cycle, of like toxic cycle. So like, but you have it's crazy. You have the ability, you have the power to break it, but it's like you're too scared to even like try to like break the cycle. So you just continue it.
Yeah,
it's crazy because then you're like denying yourself like real, beautiful, healthy love.
Yeah.
You know, you're denying yourself.
But I think it's also the fear and rejection of the other person too. Like sometimes, like the demons in your closet are ugly as fuck. You don't want to bring those up to other people, and it's just like even if you bring them up, how's that person gonna help you? Yeah. What can they really do?
And sometimes you feel like this. Sometimes I minimize. Like I said this to Jasmine the other day about her own trauma. I minimize my trauma because I play comparison. And I compare what I think your trauma is in your identity and whatever you might have gone through versus my trauma. So I'm like, mine is insignificant. We just focus on you. And that's the problem, is that you don't feel like yours is significant and that you even like have trauma to share, or you've just buried it, that you're not being vulnerable in that connection. And so in that case, then how are you going to make that beautiful connection that you're talking about, that love connection, because you haven't really got in tune with your own shit.
And I feel like don't feel scared to acknowledge your trauma. Don't minimize it, because even like looking at it from a medical point of view, like some people can come in, get into a car accident, look perfectly fine, have a little scratch, but they was hit at 50 miles per hour and bleeding in the inside compared to somebody else who comes in probably just has like an arm off. You think that's a bigger trauma, but it's just like, no, like that other person is like life-threatening.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, it's just like one of those things. Like I always thought with struggles, like there's some people, they tell you about their struggles, and you just like, damn, like that's a big struggle. Crazy. Or if you have problems, sometimes people just like, well, I'm going through this, and it's just they try to like make your struggle seem so much smaller, and it's just like, but still, this is like
affecting
me.
Mine.
I feel like it's still, no matter what, it's still.
That's exactly why I minimize my trauma.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're still hurting. You're still in pain. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter if they're feeling something. They're going through pain. Because, so, like you said, it's not a competition. We're both in pain. And the question is not, like, whose is worse. It's, like, how are we going to heal from that?
But do you think that's passed down?
Yeah.
And do you think I feel like it's passed down because of how, like, you relate with your parents and, like, the things that they went through, and then you compare what you've gone through and all that stuff, and you minimize yours all the time because a lot of times you're thinking about what they've gone through.
We
also
just
Black
had
women
this
too.
conversation with my mom, and I was just like, she was talking about, going through, like, being younger, like, having to go down to, like, the food stamp office and have people, social service office, and have people talk to her mom, like, really crazy, and, kind of just, like, degrade them and condescend them. But I was just like, Mom, just because you went through that doesn't mean, like, we didn't go through, like, our own struggles.
Yeah, she's like, we never had good when y'all had food. I'm like, yeah, but it was still stuff happening.
Yeah.
Our bellies are full, but our minds are being fucked up.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's playing that trauma. And you minimize, like, well, we didn't have this type of trauma, so maybe I shouldn't bring this up. Or a lot of times, I'm even saying it from my perspective with my dad is like sometimes he has so much going on that I'm just so focused on what he's going through that I'd be like, oh, I'm cool. Like, I'm not saying anything about
And
what's
I think
going
that's
on.
also about, like, it has a lot to do with, like, who you are and how you portray yourself. You see yourself as being a strong person. You don't want to be
Yes.
You don't want to open up. You don't, like, it's not so much that you
like,
can't, you don't want to.
It's
You've always
true.
been, like, the strong
independent
friend, independent one, like...
Yeah, you feel like you have the ability to do like, okay, I'm strong enough to hold like what I'm going through and yours. When it's like in reality, it's like you're buckling down from it.
Like you have fear of judgment even when it comes to relationships, but sometimes when it comes to friendships too, it's just like it's just the same. Even with family, like it's just like people are gonna downplay. Like, who's really gonna be there for you?
I feel like sometimes you just don't want to tell people like what you're going through.
Because then people and it's also sometimes people won't even listen. They'll be quick and I'm guilty of it. Sometimes you'll be quick to kind of just give advice like, hey, you just gotta move past it. Like, come on, like you can do this, and it's like that's not what you want to hear.
Sometimes you just want somebody to listen.
And I feel like if that's the case, sometimes like you can tell somebody that like I don't need you to tell me anything. Like I just need something to tell you.
I just want to talk to you.
The best words a friend can say when you're going through shit is just like, I'm here. It was like when that thing was happening to me last year, and I thought like something's really wrong. I'm like, we just came over here and we just chilled. We went to get like try that those bowl whips or Dole whips.
Oh yeah.
We just chilled. We didn't even talk about it. We just talked about like, oh, what's going on in life, and like that's all I needed. Cause like, I've been thinking about it. I'm in my head about it. I just needed to be around people, but I don't need to talk about it. I just need to be around people. And now it was comforting. Like in that time, like you guys were there.
Yeah.
And like I love like even when like I got friends going through stuff, it's like cry. I'm like cry, do something. Like I'm like just here. What do you want? What are you doing? We don't have to talk about shit.
Exactly.
Just know I'm here. I text that too. Yeah, because I forgot some your mom posted. I'm like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, your mom okay? Okay, I'm gonna text. Like, I'm here. Like, I don't care. I'll take an Uber anywhere. Like just let me know. That's all. And that's just the most comforting thing. It's just knowing that.
Yeah.
And I'll take that personal or text. Just let me know, like, okay, I'm here for you.
And you know what? It's in our personalities, but also I think it's in our identities. I feel like it's intrinsically tied to being a black woman about having to feel like you need to be strong and independent, and that your burdens aren't as meaningful as others, and that you have to take on other people's burdens, but also the fact that when there is somebody who's on your side or on your camp or supporting your cause, just the mere presence, not even them doing anything, is so impactful. I think that's just a virtue of our identities as being black women and being black women who are striving for different entrepreneurial things, career-based things, whatever case may be. I think that's just so.
Do you think people assume that because like outside of black women, you think people just assume that like they can tell us shit or like
that
because like, they assume because we're black women we can handle anything.
Think about a lot of the stereotypical. I was just saying this to one of y'all. A lot of the stereotypical positions that black women are in, apart from like we're always in a caretaking position. Like we were traditionally the nannies and like breastfeeding white babies and stuff. But then we are modernly TSA and the Metro bus. Security. The only women you really see as securities are black women. You don't see other identities of women really. Like you'll see some here and there, but it's random. You like, oh really? But black women, you don't second guess a black woman security guard or someone in a position where they have to be very physical with both men and women. So we're always seen as like extremely strong than the average woman. Like we can fight, we can do Well, I mean, we can fight. What was that?
Oh yeah,
we're all that.
Don't assume that. That's annoying.
We all
that. Don't assume.
And that goes to even how we're cared for medically and how
they think we're like high tones for pain and shit. Like no,
our mortality rate when we're giving birth,
which is I'm still shocked in this day and age, is the rate it is.
Our pain. Even like we just said, our pain, but like even our pain where we're saying like, I feel this, oh no, it's fine, you're okay, and then the lady comes back and fucking near death now because she told you she wasn't feeling well. You're like, oh no, it's just whatever. But if that same symptom came in with a different looking patient, you wouldn't have said the same thing. You
would
would have gone and got the whatever test that usually that indicates, instead of just being like, oh, go walk it off, go sleep it off. Not even give you a pain medicine to like block it off.
Just sad.